Move out of the way, kitty. You're in my chair. Alright, guys. Welcome back to part 4 of this live stream of the Junkman builds a diorama, or a model train layout, whatever you want to call. I did just a couple of things while off camera from the last time here. It's basically finished pouring the rest of the water. It's all dried up. That took about 24, 36 hours. A little bit there. Stuff takes a while to dry. But I think it looks really, really great. I also got the train track laid, basically, and I've already tested it to make sure it goes through the tunnels the way it needs to be. And I didn't show it in the other parts. This is what the packaging looks like. $6, $7. I've seen on eBay and the internet these go as high as like $15. I don't know if it's worth quite that, but anyway, anything under 10, this little train is worth it for a lot of fun. But what prompted this project was put this together. The track kind of moves around, the train goes on it, and it works pretty good given the price. But the track moves around. If you don't have it on a hard surface like a table or a hardwood floor, it doesn't work real great on the carpet. The train will derail because the track moves enough. So I thought, oh, I'll put this on some styrofoam. I just glue it down, and then there we go. And just put it up in the closet and bring it down. My son wants to play with it or look at it and everything. And he really likes watching it just go around. He just likes to watch it go around and around. And then, so I thought, well, then why don't I paint it green and put it down and put some roads. And then I thought, well, why don't I build a diorama? I have all this leftover supplies, paints, and landscaping stuff from other projects I've done. And so I thought, well, you know, I used to model railroads, so I thought, well, I guess I'll just make a make a layout. So it just kind of snowballed, no pun intended here, into this. Now, granted, this is not the way a professional would do it, but granted, I did not purchase hardly anything for this. We'll go over the exact total towards the end of the video, but it's almost all made with scrap material. Well, it is made with scrap material. About the only thing I had to buy, or I did buy, was the trees, just because I was too lazy to make my own trees, but I could have, because I have this foam stuff the trees are flocked with to make it look like, you know, leaves and foliage and things. But the rest of it is either, you know, dirt, real rocks, newspaper, insulating foam that would go behind your siding, and just leftover model paints and super glue and Mod Podge and Elmer's glue and just everything. And I just wanted to show what you can do with what you have, and I think it turned out pretty good. So what I'm going to do now is first things first. Actually, first things first, and I did this off camera because this would just take too long. I chopped up some foam packing. Now, this isn't like packing peanuts, but it's like, like styrene or whatever. Anyway, chopped it up finally. I thought about running it through like a blender type thing, but just didn't. I just chopped it up, scraped it off of some packaging, and I just wanted to, because I painted up here, I thought, you know what, if I sprinkle this on, it might look like kind of real snow, kind of even things out up here. I just want it up here just a little bit. So to get started here, I need to dab some glue, and I'm about out of Mod Podge, but that's okay. I got some of the gloss stuff over here, but I want to use the matte because I don't want it, well, do I want it shiny? I might want it kind of shiny. You know, that's the thing. I'm not a professional here. Join in. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Join in the chat. Use the super chat if you'd like to donate, but you never have to do that. Join in the chat. I'll answer your questions. I see we got a couple people in there, and thank you for watching. No, there's one of my regular watchers in there right now, and I appreciate you watching. And you know, I think you missed the last stream because you're commenting how you missed so much. Well, Yep, you did. We got a lot done last time and got to a stopping point where we needed to let things dry, and that's it. And we're gonna basically finish this up here in this stream. But right now I'm going to apply a straight Mod Podge because I want it full strength. I want to kind of cover these little marble chips, rocks here, kind of blend them in. They're white. I wanted them to look like snow-capped, rocks, and this melt off is where the water's coming from here, kind of a high mountain lake and such. And I just want to, because you're viewing from here, and I'm trying to do a forced perspective. That's why you got big trees in the front, and everything gets smaller as you go up here, and then our timber line is right about here, and then and because it's so green down in the valley, we're going to pretend this is early to late spring, so everything's nice and green. We're melting off here, and we got a nice roaring river. We have a couple of waterfalls here and everything. Pretty picturesque and everything. So we're just adding, hopefully, a little more detail that kind of sells that this isn't just, paper here. And I might try to get a little bit to stick over here if I can. It's not a big deal. But even this Mod Podge dries clear, but it'll kind of give a glossy appearance. So it might look like sparkling snow, or at least that's the theory. But I think, and I need to trim some of the paper back here. Made homemade paper mache here, and so much rain. I hear it again. I definitely found a scale in my ear in the shower. I am not sure what you're talking about in the chat there, but maybe I missed something. Okay, now I'm gonna get a little of my snow here and and then I'll use some scenic glue, my mix of scenic glue, which is actually just watered down Mod Podge, about 3 parts Mod Podge to, or 3 parts water to 1 part Mod Podge, and yeah, I'll try to put a lot of this up here. Oh, that's the piece down here. I don't know. Let's see. Hopefully that's looking kind of good. I guess I kind of like that. I don't know. This technique I wasn't really sure of, and honestly, maybe packing peanuts or that actual really annoying styrofoam might be better. But oh, it must be where the chatters. It must be raining where he's at, and I think he's going to turn into a fish. Well, where I live, we're in our monsoon season 2. Been really dry up until now, and then get our wet season here. It's fairly common. It's always nice, but we do have risks of forest fires here too, so it's always nice to get the rain, keep the fire danger down, especially where I live. Anyway, let's see. Let's put some up here. Yeah, I'm hoping this is giving some depth to the model. I don't know. Maybe it's not. Oh, lost some down there. I'm actually working on this backwards. Normally I would be facing it my way, but we're not going to worry about that too much. Okay. Yeah, actually I'm kind of liking this. It's kind of giving a bit different depth here, and actually I kind of hear it's getting a little stormy outside. right now as we speak during this stream. Hopefully I don't lose power. I guess you'll know if the stream goes dark. And if that's the case, well, then I guess stream will be done. I'll maybe have to finish it up another time. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I just hear a lot of wind going, so. Okay. Ugh. Glue gets all over your fingers a little. There's probably better ways to do this. I'm gonna put a piece there. Okay. Okay, let's get that. You know, I didn't want to put too much up here. Ugh. Hoping when I spray the scenic glue we don't get too much of it falling off. You know, I'm kind of liking that. Let's move this stuff out of the way. I'll talk about the little train later and what we're going to do about that. Let me move a little bit over here. Okay. I need to move this sideways here so I can take a look at my work, and it looks all right. It gotta move. Yeah, let's see. Not too common to rate. Yeah, well, it is common here, so I guess I don't think much of it. Okay, put that in there. Come on. Oh, I had a piece fall off. Let's put it, actually put that in there. Okay, that'll be good right there. Okay, I'll leave it turned just like this. Hopefully my track didn't really move. Okay, all right, next thing I'm gonna do while that is drying, and hopefully that sort of locks all that in. I may have to do another coat on that, but I see something I need to sort of clean up. Too much of that glue in there. That's all right. Dries clear, but ruining some effect there. Okay, just a little cleanup there. Brush can go there. Okay, next thing we're gonna do is first I'm gonna glue all the joints, of the track together here, and I'm gonna use some Tamiya extra thin cement. Great for this. It's kind of got a wicking property because it's so thin. It's watery thin. Okay, but I'm just going to put a little in there. I'll probably actually use a thicker CA to actually adhere it down to the CA stands for cyanoacrylate, and this stuff's actually pretty stinky, but it works great. It's almost like a plastic weld kind of thing here, so it'll be perfect for putting this together, because I don't want to mess where I got the track laid out here. And it dries pretty quick. Bonds really well to styrene. I don't know what plastic this is, but it'll hold it. And we're gonna do some other. We're gonna bond the track down to the foam, to the substrate here. So this is just the layer to keep everything together. And while we do that step, and another thing, because I was trying to do this without really buying much stuff. I mean, I had to buy the fake water and the trees. Well, I could have made the trees, but I got lazy there. But I think I'm going to spend a little bit of money and get some scale ballast to put around the track in there to make the track look a little more realistic. Also cover up the base here, because I didn't put turf under it, because I knew I was going to put something over it, not just the track, and I need the track on a flat surface. And this track kind of wiggles around and all this, and so I wasn't sure where the track would exactly lay, so I left myself some wiggle room. And I need to get some ballast. It'll look like well, ballast, but the gray rock you see on train tracks and stuff, or surrounding train tracks, which is the kind of the cushioning agent for the railroad ties and everything. I thought about getting the airbrush out and everything, and weathering the track too, but honestly, I just thought, well, you know, we're already going crazy, excessive with this kind of project. And it's like, well, I'm going for some realism. You know, ultimate realism is just not going to happen with this train and track. Like I said, I took them off the table, but I'll show you the train and the cars, you know, are not really even to scale to each other. They really don't have, they really aren't to scale. I mean, I guess they're close to N gauge, but they're a little too big for N, but they're not HO. So they're just, and that's why I did the diorama the way I did, kind of a forced perspective, because the train's not perfect, so it's not going to look perfect. So, you know, there you go. We're doing it as best we can here. Just getting the back parts here to fully lock it together. And that's the other thing why I left the back open, is obviously, well, it doesn't need to be closed, but train derails or something, you need to access it, but then also I need to put the train tracks in. So okay, I think I got all those locked together, so it should be exactly how it needs to be. And one of the chatters says, no way, Jerk says, you ever use baking soda to set CA? I've never used that, because I use activators. This stuff dries really quick on its own from the moisture in the air, but like something like this, which is just cheap old super glue and such, nothing special. I have a little metered mist spray activator to instantly sets. Also, it makes the bond a lot stronger because it adds another component into it. Some modified epoxies use that as the primer, and works really good. But no, I've never done the baking soda trick, but I've heard about it. So okay, I think I'm ready to start laying a little bit of glue down, and because I have the model this way, I'll set some ties here like this. This should set them pretty good. Alright, turn the model this way. Be very careful. We will run the train at the end of this, even though I am going to do some weathering on the train because it doesn't look, I mean, as I said, it's not to scale, but it also doesn't look anywhere near realistic. Not that you could make it look realistic, but we can do better, and I'll show you. It's same with the cars. Okay. That's set there, and I kind of have to turn the model this way. One thing I'll need, let's see, is that heavy enough? That's heavier. Need to kind of weigh the track down here over my little culvert. Didn't get it completely level there, or the water kind of buckled it. Didn't anticipate that, so it'll be fine as long as the track can't move too much. Like I said, I was running the train, like I said before, it was even, so it didn't really matter that it wasn't completely flat there. So that's kind of a benefit. There's a lot of slop in this train and this track, so it's you know, nothing to worry about. And that's why I'm not being real careful with this glue, because like I said, I think I'm gonna add some ballast, and that will just cover everything up, because I'll just brush on a little bit of Mod Podge and sprinkle the ballast in here. And if I have to drill some small holes using my pin vise, I will, to pin the track in some spots. There's plenty of places to do that. So, like I said, I got to put the ballast in, and then also I need to kind of build up some dirt there. I think, just for where the guys, from where my little fisherman camper guy's been. Driving over the tracks there. We're also going to, right after I get done with this, we're going to, I'm going to highlight the rails just using a silver Sharpie. I could have done that before, but I figured my hands might rub the Sharpie off while I was handling it. I don't know how long it'll stay with the little train car going. Oh, missed my trash can. Let's do a little of this. I have use a little bit of Mod Podge in a couple areas, just for a little test of theory here. See how this adheres to this track. Okay. But I'll be painting more of this on when I do the ballast. Like I said, that I will, and also for people watching this archived or live, I will have some detailed pictures on my website. It'll be on my blog page. If you go to www.thejunkmanadv for adventures, that's kind of the code word for adventures, thejunkmanadv.com, and then you know, that'll take you to the home page. There's a link to the blog right there, and depending on how old this is, it'll be like the first post, but it might be back. I'll also put a link to that blog posting in the description, so for people finding this archived and later, you'll be able to just go to the description and find it there. Let's see. Yeah, that's still buckled just a touch. Actually, let's use the Tamiya. Let's see. There. Yeah, and also need some ballast to sort of fill in the gaps there, but this looks pretty good. Okay, I think we got her tacked down pretty good there. Yeah, mosquitoes are pretty bad. Where I live, we don't really have bugs like that. I mean, where I used to live and where I come from, I'm very familiar with them, but not anymore. Not anymore, and I don't miss them. So gotta let my glue dry here. Glue dry before, I mean, it's pretty much held the train track in there. I don't want to use my activator with the scenery because it'll potentially dislodge some things, so alright, that looks good. My foam here might need another coat of the scenic glue. I'll let that dry, but I might be applying another dab of that there. But okay, we'll turn it this way. I'll put it off the side. Like I said, we gotta let some glue dry before I want to do my next step. Let's talk about the train here a little bit, and and our little fisherman camper guy. This is the train right here. Obviously, the wheels are too small out of scale. It's red, silver, and gold, kind of hardly painted. I don't like the looks of it. I mean, you get what you pay for. But anyway, the body comes off because there's a little, that's where the battery goes. A little on-off switch there. It runs really fast, which, you know, whatever, I guess. I mean, I wish there was a way I could slow it down, but it's just a worm gear and gear here, and then it's got little rubber tracks to kind of grip the rails, and it does. Say it works pretty good. It just runs fast. So I'm going to weather this, repaint it. We're going to do, you know, regular black and silver, typical, you know, steam train like. Maybe I'll kind of detail the back here somehow to make it look like you can see in. Same with the windows because they're not very detailed. And then I'll paint these, detail these up. Maybe sand off a little bit of the flash. I don't know how much I'll go. You know, detail it up a little bit. Maybe throw a little bit of a wash on it of some sort with some to make it look a little grimy. Same thing with the cars. I mean, a green tender. I don't know. It says Mountain Mining Co. on it, which is just a decal. I'll either take those off or just paint over them. Paint it black. Little silver accents. I'm not going to paint the wheels, I don't think, because they're just solid. But I'll paint, there is some details, and there's this coal and such on here. So I'll probably do a little light wash to bring out the intricacies of that. I think I'll make this all a different video. I won't live stream it. I'll make it an edited video. It'll be only a couple minutes is all, because there's not much to do. Same with the little boxcar here. It says Potomac Freight. I like that it's blues, actually. So I'll probably peel the stickers off, and then maybe I'll engrave in some doors and some details like a real boxcar would have. It does have a rib top up here. And then what I'll do is I'll put a good wash on this to make it kind of look old and whatnot. I may try to do some type of a wood treatment, you know, make it look like a wooden boxcar. We'll see how that goes. Now the caboose I really like for what it is. I do like the stickers that are on it, kinda, but I may take those off because they're covering up a bunch of detail. And I like that it's molded in red, and actually there's windows and such in there so you can see in it. All it needs, in my opinion, is just a wash to bring out the details and grime it up just a teensy bit. And that'll actually, the caboose is going to look really good because it's actually really detailed, whereas like the body of the train has some details and stuff, but I feel they could have done a lot. If they did so good on this, they could have done this as much better as well, as far as just the body. But I get it. I mean, to sell it for, like I said, this one was $7 or $8. Like I say, you can get them online. I've seen them at like Hobby Lobby and such. This one was given to me by my wife for, you know, like a Christmas thing, kind of stocking stuffer deal, because she knows I like model trains and stuff, which is, you know, this is kind of a joke model train. But my son really likes it, and I thought, well, I'll kind of fix it up for him. So that's what we're gonna do with the train, and that'll be its own. Again, that'll be its own video, I think, rather than doing it here, because it's a lot of detail work, takes a long time, would be even more boring than this is to watch. Our little camper guy, like I said, this is a Tomica 1978, like a, you know, Chevy square body, flare side, and then the camper is off of a well, I have the truck, but I took it off of it because I liked this style better. I forget what brand, but you know, it's not a Hot Wheels, but I like the camper, and it's a little beat up from just play, which is okay. I may do a little bit of weathering on this, not much, but put a little wash, bring out some details. But we're not. I don't think I'm going to glue him down. I kind of like him so he can be removable, so kind of could move him around. The doors, it's kind of nice because that's part of the reason. The doors open on it too. So if I buy some figures, and that's another thing, figures are kind of expensive for what they are. That's why I don't have a little guy fishing, but he might sit here. I might put a rock or something. But I wanted to do this so we could have it sitting, you know, anywhere along the road or something. just to change it up, we could turn it around. But you know, he's driving along the road and parked here to camp for the camp and fish. It's his favorite fishing spot, and that's what we're doing. We're telling a story here. So I'll probably weather this up just a little. I mean, it's beat up from play and actually looks kind of good that way. I might just rub some weathering powders on there just to give a little bit of indications of maybe a little rust around the wheel wells and things. But I'll make that an edited video. That might be something. That'll be like a minute-long thing is all, because there's not much to do to this. You know, detail the headlights in the front and make the grill kind of pop a little bit. Give it a little bit of hint of tail lights and things. And like I said, a wash to bring out the details of the doors and the windows and things, because it's actually a really nice casting. So anyway, let's see here. Our track seems like it's dried. So the next thing I wanted to do here for sure, because we're letting our snow kind of settle in here. You know what? I know that stuff takes a while to dry, but this is not maybe working as best as I could. We might be shaking some of this off, but I'll let it dry and then we'll see. But it adds a little bit of detail. But I wanted to put a little bit of marker or highlight marker. I'm using a marker, but a little bit of highlight on the rails, and don't have to be. Just want to get the tops, because that's where the train runs, and you know, rails are always shiny. And later I'm going to think about getting the ballast, and then I'll weather the inside of the tracks, because especially steam trains, they are very, very dirty in that respect. They, you know, you oil the bearings and such on the wheels, and they drop oil wherever they go, you know, steam oil wherever they go, as well as the soot and all that gets all over. So, and that's another thing we're going to do. We're going to put a little highlight. I got some black paint on the tops of the tunnels where the steam, you know, has the soot has collected over just years and years of going in and out of these tunnels. I'm not being trying to be too pretty here, because leaving a little bit of black kind of indicates, you know, just wear. Because if you look at real railroad tracks and rails, they're shiny from use, but they're rusty. They're rusty on the sides, of course, but they're shiny where the train rubs on them. But train doesn't rub on them evenly, so you don't have to be perfect with this. And again, if you get inspired to build something like this, doesn't have to be a model or a railroad model, but any kind of diorama or something where you're trying to emulate real life. You know, it's up to you. It's whatever makes it look good to you. That's really the point here. And that's the thing. While this is not, you know, how a pro would do this, you know, it's not there's not a lot of wrong ways to do this stuff, as long as the end result turns out the way you wanted it, or a version of the way you wanted it. So thing with the pros is they may have some tips and some tricks that aren't, you know, readily known, but that's what YouTube's for, and the internet, and I learn a lot from pros. I didn't just wake up and know this stuff, or know how to do this, but a lot of it is just trial and error too. I've always liked little things, models. You know, on my website I have, and I talked about this on the last stream, you know, I have some have some plastic models I've done up and weathered to replicate real vehicles in the wild, or, well, real vehicles I own, I should say. You know, they're rusty or dirty and greasy, you know, work vehicles, you know. I respect the people that can make a plastic model look like, you know, like a showroom vehicle and such. And there's some amazing, I think that is very, that's the thing. The guys that do that, it's very difficult. I find weathered models to be honestly a little easier. Of course, those guys find, you know, if you ask them, they'd say, oh man, weathering a model and making it look all dirty and real and, you know, like used and stuff, that's hard, you know. But I find it's a little easier because, well, you get, when making a new vehicle, there's not a lot of creative, unless you're doing like a full custom thing, there's not a lot of creative license. Even full customs, there's a general expectation of what the end product is supposed to look like, and but with weathered models, in my opinion, it's kind of like, well, you know, you have a lot of happy accidents. I mean, that's like this thing. You know, I sprinkled things on and stuff maybe didn't go exactly where I wanted it, but it looks more random. Nature's random. And that's the thing with like vehicles. Cat is, get away from my, cat is messing with the cord to the old webcam. We don't want to ruin the stream because the cat bit the cord. All right. I am, let's see, we are, most of that glue is dry. Tracks seem like they're in show the marker. I'll be darned. Okay, well, we're about ready to run this thing. So, and it could be run either direction. Let's see. But I kind of like it for whatever reason. I guess I like it going this direction. So let's put it on here. Like I said, the train itself kind of wrecks the scale, but like I said, we're gonna be about done here. Like I said, I'm gonna do weathering the cars as a separate video. I won't live stream it. It's too tedious because there's a lot of mixing of paints and such, so it's a lot of downtime and things. It's kind of like when I was doing some of this out here. Probably got a little boring for some people, but there it is. We're ready to go. Oh, we got some more people in the chat. Oh, my friend Furworks has hopped in here in the chat. Howdy do. He's got a YouTube channel. You should go check it out. He just recently posted a really good tutorial video for you guys that are doing some 3D printing, little tips and tricks video with the specific software. And I don't have a 3D printer and I don't use that software, but I was able to understand it. So go over there and check it out if that's something you're into. Also, his girlfriend does crocheting and stuff like that, and he runs her live streams and does a lot of her video production, and it's really top notch. He's stepped up his game. I got a jank setup here, and my cameras and stuff is jank. Well, he wouldn't say he's a professional, but his stuff sort of looks professional quality just because he's definitely stepping up his game. So anyway, let me quit talking here, but I wanted to give a shout out to somebody who's in the chat. Let's see if we got it, hopefully. Oh, yep, there we go. And I think everything's on track. Oop. Nope. Nope, yeah, see, dang it. This is the thing about this little train. Once you get it on here, but it's just the wheels are so so tiny, and they're not formed right. Okay, there we go. Let's see how long she runs. I also, this table isn't level, probably affecting it a little bit, but that boxcar is wobbling quite a bit, but I think one of its wheels is a little not, it's got some casting flash. I need to, that's another thing, that's why I'm going to do a separate video, is get rid of some of the casting flash. Let's see if I can move it without, it actually runs a heck of a lot quieter than when it's ready, because it just clinged and clanged and clacked and, yep, there you go. Bouncing off the track there. Yeah, this dang thing. Yeah, I mean, maybe I should have left a little slop in the track, but it runs good. I mean, I don't know. Hopefully, I maybe need to weight the cars a little bit. That would kind of help it. I mean, that engine that little motor isn't super powerful. I almost want to buy another one just to add another boxcar in there, but I don't know. It should pull it, but I don't know that it will. There we go. I mean, I guess I didn't sweep the track. Maybe there was something on it that, you know. Yeah, because now it's running pretty good. But I need to kind of weight that boxcar. It really jiggles around there. Yeah, see, I don't know. Probably need to file the rails a little in somewhere and get it. That's the thing. For $6, it runs pretty good. Like I said, it's not quite level. I'm probably going to cut out a piece of plywood and then put a little bit of sides just to frame this, and paint. Maybe paint the sides black, or just leave it a natural pine or something, stain it real nice. Something to lift it up, but oh, see, it runs for a while and then falls off the track. So I don't know. I think it's just because my tender is off. That's why. Oh, there we go. It re-railed itself. That's the thing. The little cars, I think, get off because I do know the wheels aren't completely round. It occasionally bounces, and then it bounces the train off. But well, anyway, there. I mean, that's it. Nothing much else to see, really. I don't really have, and of course, there we go. Why'd we jump off the track there? I might have to adjust the track a little. File it down. But it runs, whoop. Camper guy is in the way. There we go. But anyway, there we go. There's done in 4 parts. Oh, what is it? Each stream's been about an hour to an hour and a half, so there's, 5 to 6 hours worth of viewing to build this. I mean, granted, I sat here and talked a little bit, so it's not exactly that long. I'd say a good solid 5 hours I spent, but if I hadn't been trying to do the live stream and all that, probably could have done it quicker. But I had fun with this build. I hope you guys liked it. Well, I don't know. I ain't got much else to say. But anyway, appreciate it. I do have that poll I did on my community tab about the next video. Restoration tips and tricks is what people voted on. That's in progress. I have it written, and I'm filming some of it, so look for that shortly. I also have, I'm going to have this video coming up on weathering the train and doing a little bit maybe with the camper guy. Those will be short little videos. I'll just add to it. And what else? I want to get to some other projects too that I have waiting in the wings. I got a bunch of projects in store, and of course I got life projects happening, some home improvement stuff I don't care to film because it's, I don't know, it wouldn't make a very good video. So anyways, I guess other than hanging out here, There we go. Whoop, there we go. We'll call it good. We went off the rails. We lost quite a bit there. Yeah, I don't know. I think the harmonics of the cars just get to it, and it eventually wants to just fall off. I think weighting the cars a little bit will help that too. But I don't know. It's pretty neat. I had fun making it. So thanks guys for watching, and subscribe to the channel. Check out my other videos. I have other videos, more motorcycle related stuff, automotive, stuff like this. Just hope you get inspired to build something like this, or attempt it. You don't even have to go as far as I did with it. A lot of this stuff is fairly inexpensive, so if you'd like to try it, there's a lot of good tutorials on YouTube about some tips for specific things did in here, but I just kind of winged it and thought, okay, I can just use some newspaper and whatever. But all right, well, I am going to cut out of here, and thanks for watching. Subscribe. I'll see you on the next one.